guys, Roxanne here from Tiny Home Living. We are actually heading up to Bob's workshop to finally get back to work on that door for the utility room. We are going to change the design, I think, for the second one, but we'll get to that later. We've got to get some finishing material on that door. I did get the hinges and hardware that I think it'll work. It's going to be a very heavy door, so I bought 4.5-inch hinges with ball bearings. And 3 of them. So that should carry the weight of that door, hopefully. If not, back to square one. Like I said, big experiment. Now the hardware did end up being pretty expensive and will be the most expensive part of this door. But anyway, I love doing this sort of thing anyway, so that's what we're going to do. Try and get some finishing material on that today. But before we head up there, I just want to ask you to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video with your family and friends. Giving us a thumbs up and sharing the video is the best thing you can do to help us, and we sure appreciate it. So let's get going. Now Bob and Chris flipped the door over and clamped it down again because it still had a bit of a curve in it, so hoping that helps. But today we're going to get the stain on this side of the door and hopefully get a coat of clear coat on it. I think this door looks so nice, and I don't really care about the gaps, but to me it just looks more rustic. So we've got all these pieces planed. Now Chris is going to sand them. That's one of the big ones there too. Chris is going to sand them because we can't put the stain on this door until all the sanding and everything is done and everything's blown out of here. So he's going to sand these boards first and then they'll be ready for paint. In case anybody's wondering what color this gray is, it's called Classic Gray. Pretty happy with this color. I think this door is so pretty. But look how thick it is. Chris is just giving it a quick wipe, and we're going to put a coat of clear coat on it, which won't take very long. Like I said, tedious. Gotta put a coat on now. I want at least 2 coats on it, so gotta take the time to do it. Drying so fast, faster than we expected. Where Chris started, it's already dry, and we can see it, I can feel it drying right behind where I'm working. So we're gonna wait a little while and get a second coat on this, and that makes me happy. Expedite this a bit. You know, I don't have much patience for this kind of stuff, waiting for paint to dry. So we're gonna wait a little while and get another coat on, but so far this is looking pretty good. This is a satin finish. So I like high gloss paint in the kitchens and the bathrooms because it makes wiping really easy. But for the stains like this, I like the satin finish. But I'm really happy with this gray stain. And I think this door is looking awesome, especially if you look at it when the light is from here. It looks great. So another little change of plans. This is part of, you know, designing something from scratch and starting without really knowing the dimensions. This is the handle I got. This is actually a gate handle. It's like gate hardware, and I like how rustic it looks. Now I did think about getting the hinges that you know, go on the face of the door, well, the hinge part here, and then like the long pointy kind of gate hinges. And we're going to switch to that, and one of the reasons is because when you put the hinge here, and I mean these are heavy 4.5-inch hinges with ball bearings in them, so they're really super heavy duty, but you'll notice the screws fall right in where the crack is. In the joint here, and we don't really want that. I mean, I paid for the hinges so that it would be really strong, and then the screws are going to land in this crack, and that's all because of the dimension of lumber that we used. So something that couldn't have been foreseen. We've got to go back to Home Depot anyway to return a bunch of conduit and stuff. And again, that's just part of building. You know, you get something, it's not going to work out, and take it back, get something else, hoping that it's going to work. So we're going to go back and get actual gate hardware, the hinges that look more like a gate. And I actually don't mind that. I considered getting those to begin with because I like the fact that they look really rustic. The black hinges would totally be visible on the side of the door. There'll be one in the middle and one at each end. So they're totally visible, and then the black goes with all the black hardware that I've got in the kitchen. So I did think about that anyway, and now that's the new plan. Flying by the seat of our pants. It's only been minutes and this is already dry, like very, very few minutes. So we're gonna get another coat on this. That makes me happy. Tomorrow we can come flip it over and get 2 coats on the other side. So we've got a second coat of finish on the door. And we're gonna head home and try and get some other chores done. This looks pretty shiny, but it dries really, really quickly. Like I said, it's a satin finish and I like this. So we're heading home, gonna try and get some other chores done, but that's it for the door for today. Back tomorrow to do the other side. This is out there freezing cold, sanding the boards for the door jambs. No, I'm not going out there or going any closer. It's too cold to suit me. So Chris got the, I showed you earlier, well, I peeked out the door at him sanding the jambs for the doors. Now you'll remember this door jamb was, he used a 2x6, and that was a full 2x6 because it was rough sawn lumber that we used, this stuff here. So this door jamb is very thick, you know, more so than normal. So he ripped these to fit here, and one for the top, and the other one for that doorway, because it was 2x3 walls, is much narrower. So I think I'm gonna paint these. I'll lay some cardboard out on the counter and paint these inside. It's very chilly out these days, but I'd like to get it done. Got the fire going in here. I'm not going to get them painted today, but I've got the wood stove going because it's so cold outside. So I've got a good fire going now. Gonna load that up again and try and get some other stuff done inside here. So he's got, you can see how much narrower these jambs are, because again, we ripped the 2x6s to do 2x3s for interior walls and for the exterior actually. So I'll get these painted in the next couple of days. Look at the fingerprints on my wall, my goodness. And then we can get we're gonna do the first door, the one we've got on the go now. We're gonna put it in the utility room here because I want to keep the heat from the wood stove getting the food heated up and cooled down, because it does get so hot in here. That way it'll keep the food nice and cool. He's got the screws ready to paint to do the conduit. So it's late in the day now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring some plywood in, or sorry, cardboard in, and lay some of these out on the countertop on this side and lay some out on this side and get a coat of paint on all of them. And I think while I'm doing that, since I'm using the high gloss paint for that, I think I will go put a coat on the window. I like to sort of fill in the gaps a little bit here, and it sort of helps fill in the gaps here. You get those gaps because of course this is all, you know, freshly cut lumber, and of course I want the nail holes filled. So I will do that. I'll do the bathroom window while I'm at it, while I'm doing these door jambs, and I will also get a little bit, I'll just put a little bit lightly with the roller on these bits that are showing the dark through. Anyway, it's hard to hire good help these days, right? especially when you're not paying them. But, so a lot of things, I will also, where Chris has got trim done, I will do, you know, around the door here again, because you can see the nail holes. And I might even go with the pointy brush and just put a brush stroke in the slots here, because of course we are getting some shrinkage because of the wood stove. That's just a part of living with wood, and I honestly don't care. You know, people paint occasionally anyway, and I'm quite happy to do that. There are a few parts, like in the bathroom here, you can see up there the crack is really big, more shrinkage there, and down here. So again, I think what I'll do is just clear all this stuff out of the way so I can just very quickly go along while I'm doing the window jamb, and just do a brush stroke in the bevels there. And that will make me happy. You can see it's really shrunk on this wall too. But again, that's just the characteristics of wood, and I am absolutely thrilled that it is wood and not drywalled. So I absolutely hate drywall. If you ever have a problem with humidity, drywall is your enemy, and all this trim that is used in homes now, it's all made of MDF, which is basically glue and sawdust, and I just hate it. So everything is wood. Absolutely everything is wood in here, and if it means doing some touch-ups in the bevels because of the shrinkage from the wood stove, I don't mind at all. So especially when it comes to securing anything to the wall, or hanging pictures, anything like that, because it's spray foamed and then wood, you don't ever have to worry about a vapor barrier, compromising your vapor barrier for your home. So I absolutely love it. So pretty soon I'll get a coat of paint on those door jambs and do touch up the interior here while I'm doing it, and the trim. So that's going to be another day. Mama's hungry.